Hi everyone, welcome back to Spring into Math 7. I'm Mrs. Campbell and today we're going to be talking about solving equations using multiplication and division. Let's jump in. So the first thing I want to talk about is how important it is to remember the meaning of the word simplify. To simplify really just means to make smaller. It doesn't necessarily mean to solve. So let's take a look at this definition here. To simplify means to make smaller. In these examples, we haven't been given a value for x, so we just simplify the expression. Look at the first problem we've got here. 3 times 5x. Now, I can't necessarily solve it because I don't know what the value of x is. However, I can multiply 3 by 5, and I can simplify 3 times 5x into 15x. Same thing with the next problem. 4 times 12y. Simply multiply 4 times 12 and include the y, and now I get 48y. And simplifying quotients is another skill that we need to be really good at, just like multiplication. Remember, when we're talking about a quotient, that means that we are dividing. So let's take a look at this example. The example is 4x divided by 2x. The first step that we are going to do here is to simplify our variable. And our variable here is x. And you'll notice I can just cancel those two x's out. And now I can move on to simplifying my numbers, which is 4 divided by 2. That's pretty simple math. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay, so let's try another division problem. Again, we're looking to simplify, not necessarily solve. If we had the problem 8xy divided by 4x, how could we simplify that? Well, the first thing that we can do is we can cancel out these x's. So we're going to simplify the variables. In this case, we're just going to cancel them out. And I'm left with 8y divided by 4, and then all I need to do is divide. 8y divided by 4 is 2y. Not so very hard. Okay, so let's take a look at solving single variable multiplication equations. We have, for our problem, 5x equals 30. Now remember, when we're trying to find the value of x, or trying to solve for our variable, we need to isolate that variable. And the way that we do that is by using the inverse operations. So this question is asking us to multiply. 5 times x equals 30. The opposite of multiplication is division, and that's just what we'll do. So 5x equals 30. We're going to divide both sides by 5 because the opposite of multiplication is division. Then we can cancel out our 5's, which gives us x equals 30 over 5. Then we simply divide, and x equals 6. Now let's take a look at solving single variable division equations. In this question we have x over 3 equals 12. Again, we want to solve for x. We need to isolate that variable and use inverse operations. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we are going to multiply both sides of the equation by 3. Because, like I said, multiplication is the opposite of division. So we have 3 over 1 times x over 3, and 12 over 1 times 3 over 1. I just made this 12 over 1. Then I just do the math. Cancel out my 3's here, which leaves the x isolated. Then I do the multiplication problem, 12 times 3, and I have x equals 12 times 3, and x is going to equal 36. All right, guys, that just about wraps it up for our lesson today. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.